Wake up, version 6 of Midjourney just launched. It's been 9 months of work, but you're going to love how amazing it is. And there is a lot to go through. First of all, this is an alpha version of the model, which just means that it's subject to change without notice. You can type /settings into the prompt box, click this little drop-down menu, and you can access version 6 from here. Or you can just type in --v6 at the end of your prompt. And why don't I start with this photo right here? Take a look at that text. And look how easily it was generated. An old VHS tape that says, Future Tech Pilot. And the trick to generate text is by placing it within quotation marks. When you try this yourself, if your images aren't working too well, it's recommended to try it in Style Raw and maybe lower the Stylize value a little bit. I have here Style Raw S80. And this turned out perfectly. But do you want to see the ones that didn't turn out so well? I guess I could show you. I mean, Midjourney is still a slot machine, but at least now we have a bit more control of our outcome. There's a lot of promise here for sure, but like here, even at Stylize 20, we didn't get what we wanted. A lot of cool concepts. A few things came close for sure, but none turned out as well as this one right here. And if you're new here, my name is Nolan. I like to make videos teaching people how to use AI, especially Midjourney. Creating art with this bot is like the most fun thing in the world to me. So let me show you some of the cool stuff I've made. And why don't I start with a direct comparison between version 5.2 and version 6. Here's the prompt: defeated Batman, Kodak feature film, Ultra HD chaotic cinematic depression, heartbreaking unsplash. This is what we get in version 5.2. These are pretty cool. I like number 2 here a lot. But what does version 6 think of that prompt? We hit this. Now look at number 2 here. I mean, one of my favorite things off the start is that now it's just basically Robert Pattinson as Batman. That's what Midjourney understands now, and that's just hilarious in its own right. One important thing to note is that prompting in version 6 is different than version 5. We are going to need to relearn how to prompt. So what you see in this video, please understand I am not an expert yet. We're gonna have to learn this thing together, and if you have any tips for me, please leave them in the comments below. I tried out a lot of my old prompts, or at least how I would write them before. Something super simple like portrait of an Instagram model, old Hollywood style. Like number 1 is amazing, number 2 is really cool as well. And number 4, like that's beautiful. Throw in the word unsplash and we get these more colorful photo shoots. Gorgeous, nautical pirate style. I like number 1 a lot. The color of her eyes mixed with her hair, that's so cool. Before I get to the really big change in version 6, I wanted to show you this. Watercolor stained glass image of Pikachu. Look how good those are. That's literally the watercolor aesthetic over stained glass. That's amazing. Absolutely incredible. There is so much to test with this new model. It's gonna take me a long time. So if you're interested in seeing what version 6 is capable of, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on all the videos I have planned. How could I not show you Tom Cruise as a Sith Lord? Really considering making this the thumbnail. I don't know what I'm gonna choose as the thumbnail for this video. It's gonna be pretty difficult to pick an image, but I think this is a strong contender at least. Version 6 is not perfect. Let me just get that out up front, you know? But again, maybe I just don't know the right way to use it. In this case, I was trying to get the idea of seeing text written in the reflection of someone's eyes. And, you know, maybe I just didn't write the prompt correctly, but I couldn't quite get it to work here. Still a cool idea though. And just like, look at these. Look how realistic version 6 is turning out. This isn't even in Style Raw. This is just the default model right now. Number 1 is amazing. I like number 4 a lot. Number 3 really does look like a still from the movie, and you didn't even need to include that in the prompt. That's probably the craziest part. The prompt is just over the shoulder view of Superman. He stares at a defeated Batman in the distance. Now, it's not exactly what I had in my mind, but again, maybe I just didn't describe it correctly. I ran a little test with the Stylize values that I think you might be interested in. The prompt was a full body shot of an Instagram model rockabilly style. I locked in the scene number and then I tried a bunch of different Stylize values to see really what the difference is. So here we have at S40. Fine, these are cool. Moving up to S80, here's the default. Then we're at 150. And what I want you to pay attention to moving forward are these 3 specific characters. Up here, number 1, 2, and 4. Now they might switch spots within the grid, but those characters are going to keep repeating. And I think that might be really useful. Previously, seeds were not that consistent. Now it seems like we can almost get a simulated photo shoot of these consistent characters. Like here we are at 200, same girls. 250, same characters, different angles. 300, 400. And you know, one of the main problems is that their tattoos are different in every photo, but still, this kind of concept is there. And I think that's pretty powerful. 450, 500. Isn't that so cool that we're getting the same characters, but different photos of them? Like, is that not impressive to anyone else? 600. And maybe this just tells you more about what a stylized value does to a prompt, in the sense that it doesn't change it as much as it used to. 700, really similar to like 350 if we're being honest. 800, 900, and 1000. I mean, look how gorgeous these are though. That's so pretty. Okay, moving on, I try to get Pikachu riding a unicycle, and it didn't quite get the idea of a unicycle, but it did a bicycle pretty well. I mean, 3's a cool picture. I like number 4. Now maybe I can show you this. It started to do these action scenes a little bit better. I mean, I think you'll notice in number 1 and number 3 here, that's the old Midjourney where you input 2 characters and it sort of just blends them together. Like you have Batman wearing Superman's cape, but then in number 2 and number 4, that's Batman versus Superman. Same idea here. It did not work in 1, 2, or 3, but number 4, that's pretty good. The slot machine. The Midjourney slot machine strikes again. Okay, I have some more cool pictures to show you after, but let me show you the most powerful thing I've found so far. The real true power of version 6. Just how many details can we include in one prompt? I started off small and then I added details one at a time. First I went with a man with blue glasses. And obviously this maybe could have been better. The blue sort of came through in the light rather than the glasses itself, but just wait till you see what it does next. And then I went with a man with blue glasses and red earrings. Sure enough, it nailed that in every one of the pictures. Clear blue glasses and red earrings. Okay, 2 details. That's honestly probably better than version 5 already. A man with blue glasses and red earrings, comma. He is wearing a green sweater. Yes, yes, Midjourney, he is. Look how cool that. Oof. 3 details, no problem. This is where I started to get surprised. And in this whole experiment, I tried to stick with color as the added detail because that's such a clear thing to notice. And it's something that version 5 just could not handle at all. A man with blue glasses and red earrings. He's wearing a green sweater. He is sitting in a yellow sports car. And it nailed it. Like, out of the park. Home run. Look how good these are. Good as in coherent, as in attention to detail. I couldn't really think of any more colors to add, so I went with he is smiling and extremely happy. Yeah, no problem, adds the facial expression just how you'd expect. Then I added he is smoking a fat cigar. And one of the most interesting things here is that it sort of took the style into this painterly-like atmosphere. Maybe the more details you add, the less realistic it gets. That was just something I found interesting here. But then I took the same prompt and put it in style raw, and I get these much more realistic images. Number 1's no good, 2's still kind of painterly, and maybe he's not exactly sitting in the yellow sports car anymore, but it gets most of the details still correct. In fact, when I include the word unsplash, just to emphasize that realistic look, I get these. Like number 1, number 3, that's exactly what I wanted. And I know I mentioned that maybe the longer your prompt gets, the less realistic Midjourney wants to make it. I added there's a white Siberian tiger in the backseat of the car. Like, look at these images. Do I make one of these the thumbnail and point out all of the correct details that I got? I'm really not sure. I like number 4 a lot. But I kept running with that idea, adding in unsplash, trying to make it more realistic here. Some of these images are just so cool. Number 4 is amazing. Then maybe this is the limit, or at least approaching the limit, but I'm not entirely sure. Again, maybe it's just a prompting thing. I said the tiger is wearing purple sunglasses. Now, in 3 of the images, it gave the guy purple sunglasses instead of the blue ones. But in number 4, the tiger is sort of wearing some purple thing over his eyes. You know, maybe we get close to what we wanted. Just for fun, I said he's wearing purple sunglasses and an orange hat. Like in number 2, he's kind of wearing an orange hat, no purple sunglasses though. And if you're having fun so far, consider leaving a like on this video. I'm still battling a very bad illness. Your support on this video would make me feel a lot better. And if you're interested in things like exclusive prompts and first impressions of new AIs, you can check me out over on Patreon. There are a few other rewards available every month, and your support would mean the world. Okay, wait. I threw that whole prompt in a style raw, and look at number 4. Blue sunglasses, red earrings, green sweater, yellow sports car, fat cigar, white Siberian tiger, purple sunglasses, orange hat. My mind is absolutely blown. I cannot wait to see what you all create with this. Where do you even start? Where do you even begin? I was a fan of the limitations that we used to have. At least you could sort of navigate your own creativity. Now it's just even more limitless. The limit does not exist. This is going to be a lot to handle. It's honestly overwhelming. Alright, I thought these were pretty cool. A Gundam mecha made of celestial stardust. The armor pulses with the energy of a burning galaxy. Trying to get used to this new way of prompting. I'm telling you, I don't think I'm very good at it yet. You don't necessarily have to write with short keywords anymore, separated by commas, although I think that still does work, and you don't need these really long running sentences. Somewhere in the middle, some sort of poetic middle ground, will get you some pretty cool looking images. Cause at the same time, simple prompts still work really well. Midjourney just makes beautiful pictures, basically no matter what. Chrono Trigger Warrior. Look how good these are. And here, I'll take this example right here. We're going to upscale it, and then I'll show you a couple more new features. So here we go. Here's our image. Now what you'll see under your upscale are 2 options. Upscale Subtle and Upscale Creative. Upscale Subtle will generate this at a higher resolution, and it will basically be the exact same picture. However, Upscale Creative is going to take some creative liberties with your image. So we go from this to this. Do you think that's a big difference? Is that too much of a difference for you? I think it's way too early for me to say whether you should be using the creative upscaler or not. And in the future, I'm sure all of this is subject to change, but you should know that it's there. Please let me know what your experiences are with it. And then we still have our 2 variations. Now take a look at the subtle variations. Pretty cool changes to the image. Same, but different. And then just look at what strong variations can bring. Different composition, different poses. Essentially the same color palette and the same idea of this warrior in the foreground with the mountain range in the background. I mean, you could spend all day just running strong variations. Like, oh, Midjourney is so much fun. And then I tried turning Remix on. You can do that by typing in prefer Remix into the prompt box. Now when you hit a variation button, a new prompt box will appear and you'll have the chance to alter your prompt. I wanted to see that image at night. I tried this in both subtle variation and strong variation. Subtle variation was strange. It didn't really work how I thought it would. I even tried erasing the entire prompts, and while these are extremely beautiful, I don't necessarily recommend it. I mean, maybe this is its own style of generating that you can try. These images are pretty unique. They're gorgeous too, who am I kidding? Here's deleting the entire prompt again, but with the strong variation. Like, look at number 4, like, oh my god, these are gorgeous. And here it is just adding to the prompt, remixing with strong. This is pretty cool. You get your warrior in the front and that mountain range at night in the background. Now, it's not the exact same warrior, but you get the idea. Anyways, I hope you all have as much fun with version 6 as I'm having. There is so much more to cover. Chaos, image prompting, the weird parameter. So please stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more tutorials. I hope you're doing well. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.